Washington, and I am thrilled and honored and delighted to be able to be in conversation with the extraordinary women I'm going to welcome to the stage. So please, I know that you have all been through an incredible emotional journey, but wipe your tears, take a deep breath, get your mind right, get ready to listen and to question and to just take in the immense talent, the beauty, the humanity that's about to be out here. So I'd like to first welcome to the stage the Queen, Madame Ms. Oprah Winfrey. And now, Taraji P. Henson! Fantasia Barrino!
Yeah.
Yes! Okay.
I love when you said get your mind right. Mind right in here.
I felt like I had to announce you like you would announce you. Oprah Winfrey! So, ladies, it's so special to be able to be in conversation with you. This work is extraordinary. Thank you. Extraordinary. So I want to start with a question for all of you. Sisterhood is such an important theme in this film. It's evident, that these women, these characters, all three of them, they really needed each other for survival. Can you talk about that? Can you talk about what these women mean to each other and why they matter to each other so much?
I'm just gonna say, for me in my life, sisterhood means everything. When I came to this project, I was completely nervous because I had to sing. And I don't really, thank you. Thank you. And I studied musical theater in college. I became a mother really young.
Ain't you?
You know. And so when it came time to figure out what I was gonna do with my career, I left music alone because it just seemed dark and daunting to a single mother. So I headed out west to pursue my dreams of acting, and I kind of turned my back on music. So when I booked this film, I was nervous because I have this beautiful voice, Miss Mahalia Jackson. And then we all know American Idol heroed in her powerhouse voice, and then we had her and Tamala Mann, and I was just overwhelmed and very nervous and insecure. But the beautiful thing about this sister circle is that we held each other's hand. They encouraged me when I felt like, shy. Fantasia was like, "Girl, you can do it." So if I didn't have, and we had Oprah there with us on our important big moments, like push the button. I mean, she was just, and when you have this kind of encouragement behind you, like, you can do no wrong. I mean, you just really want to give it your all. And that's how we all showed up. We just wanted to service these characters in the best way we could. And I think we did that. By holding each other up and supporting each other, for sure.
Okay, hey y'all. How's everyone doing? When you talk about sisterhood, I think about something I call valley companions. And if you don't know what a valley companion is, it's when you're in the trenches.
I'm not talking about Glendale, y'all. I'm talking about Hollywood. You gotta listen.
When you're in the trenches, when you're in the fire, when you need someone to hold your hand and pick you up and encourage you, those are valley companions. Because everybody shows up when you're winning. But there's not that many people that'll be there when you're not. And I believe, and I know in my heart that's what these women have done for me. The same within our story. We watch Sophia be that for Celie. we watch Celie be that for Sophia. And so I love that narrative because that's what we need in this business, in this world, is knowing that we can lean on each other.
And do this together, so. And there's room for all of us. We should support each other. There is no competition.
That's one of the things that's so beautiful in the film is, you don't even have a moment to think that there's a monolithic identity for Black women because each of your characters is so profoundly different and so rich and three-dimensional and human, and so you realize we are so many things. And even, what each of we were talking a little bit backstage, each of you in your journey goes to such emotional depths, the valleys, but you also have these jubilant, joyous moments as well. So you really show the full spectrum, not only of who we can be, but also who we are, right? It's really, really extraordinary. What was it like for you to find these women?
You didn't hear from her.
Oh yeah, oh, thank you. See, somebody interviews people.
Be like, go ahead, Tay, you said little son.
Yeah.
I think, I'm sorry, I told my mother, I was speaking with my mother today. She's my best friend. And I'm breaking generational curses. So me and my mother speaking, my mother said, I noticed you always start everything, Fantasia, off with, I think. And she said, right. She said, but you ended up with, you ain't thinking, you actually know the answer. So I know that the valleys that we go through are our necessaries. As sisters, as humans, what we go through is a necessary. We're supposed to go through these things. They don't feel good at the time. But faith, how do you get faith? No, I'm asking a question. Anybody can answer. Come on, sweetheart. What do you say?
Our mess is our message. Our pain is our magic. Our gift to the world is our responsibility to share our story and our sorrows, because that's how we connect on the most deep level. And that's what we're supposed to do, is come here and grow together. And it's only through the obstacles and the pain.
Yes.
And so your faith begins to be strengthened through what you go through.
That's right.
Okay, so we don't like it at the time. We don't.
It's hard.
It don't feel good. We be like, okay, I wish we could just put it in the microwave, pop it on 20 seconds, move it through, and voila, we right where we want to be. But that's not life. Say it again. Who said it? We grow from the pain. Keep moving. Say it, raise your hand. Say it. I'll see you. Say it.
Grateful for everything that happens to you, for every little thing, and embrace everything that's been hard, everything that's been wonderful, because that's what makes you who you are and what you're able to give to other people.
Amen.
So at the end of the day, now I'm not even joking, because I can joke a lot. Mara, Carla, Danielle, Taraji, Queeno, Kerry. We go through things because it's necessary. That's what makes a sisterhood. That's what built this movie.
So when you were so we don't get to have this often. We don't get to be in situations of genuine sisterhood, and in particular, to be Black women supporting each other, working together. What was that like? How did you especially lean into and get support from your producer?
Well, the woman knows how to produce, let me
Yes.
just say that.
Yeah.
And not only that, the pride that she has in this project that she brought to the set, that she poured into us. I mean, she called and was like, if there's anything I can help you with, let me know. And I said, well, since you asked, and I told her, no, but this is the job of the producer.
Right.
Some producers don't even come to set, y'all. On her level, this is a blessing that she came. Y'all saw the video, she was out there doing the electric slide in the dirt with us.
First day at work.
Yeah, but my point is that that's the job of the producer. They come in.
Good producer.
A good producer, exactly. And when I told her, she said, say less. The next day, everything was fixed. And then she was on set for all the important and heavy lifts. She was there, holding our hands through the whole thing, loving on us, and I can't believe I have a friend in Oprah now. That's what it is. That on speed dial. But thank you so much. Thank you for pouring so much into us and believing in us and supporting us because you did this before.
This has been my great joy. Y'all, I wanted to be in The Color Purple more than anything I've ever wanted in my life.
I know this
story. So to see these sister women in their full power and glory is, I rejoice in it. And when Scott Sanders first presented the idea of taking the Broadway musical and turning it into a reimagined film, and we got Marcus Gardley to create that amazing script that began with the words, and the words that allowed Celie's imagination to be exposed to the world. We felt that we had something special. And to see your reaction, to see you all feel it the way it was offered is one of the great gifts of, I think, our lives, to see it. From the very beginning, when we first started talking about this, back in February, April, Fantasia said, people will come and they will experience a healing. You will be healed. Did you all feel that? Yes.
I think it's because that truth, what you shared, Fantasia, this truth of what it means to be in the valley, what it means to have to go through something. Each of you as actresses, you really went there. You took us with you through something, and then you came out on the other side of it. And so we got to see our own pain, our humanity in you, and then you carved a pathway to joy for us to walk with you there. It's extraordinary, truly.
Shout out to our incredible director, Blitz. Because there is this radical reimagining of this, and I just remember talking to him. First of all, I was excited that a Black man was going to tell this story, because oftentimes in Hollywood we do get these scripts with these incredible, African American stories, but it's not told by us. So when I was very excited to know that a Black director was chosen for this, because I knew that the story would look like us. Like, we don't wallow in our muck. We do fight for joy. We go to church. We pray. We dance. We sing. It's interesting, Black people, we can turn our trauma into pain. Hush puppies was used by the runaway slaves to keep the dogs off of them. My little cousin just told me the other day, she was like, you know why Black people run away when we laugh? And I was like, I never thought about it. She said, because when we were slaves, you couldn't have joy. You had to run and laugh. And so these things are genetically in us. It's been passed down in our DNA. Like, we haven't healed, you guys. We have been functioning dysfunctionally since slavery, since we've been brought here. And yes, we've turned our trauma, we know how to cope, but it's dysfunction. And we need to learn how to heal. And that's what this movie represents, our healing, because there is room for you to heal. And it's okay. It's okay to not be okay, but you have to recognize it first. You have to.
I want to add something to what my walking Oscar, because when I told you when I first met you.
What you say?
What did I say when I first met you?
Oh, she said, it don't matter about no awards.
You did it.
You are our walking, living, live Oscar.
Do I really sound like that? You
I mean, there's a reason she's the walking Oscar, because she can do you, she can do anybody.
She got me down pat.
Yes.
But I wanted to say, and y'all not right. I wanted to say, since the movie has come out, my DMs, I know your DMs, or wherever you went, your DMs. I've received DMs where this story, this is how I knew. I was like, okay, God, this is gonna be funny. It's bigger than just black. It is. I had a premiere and I invited all my neighbors. And you can go on my IG and see they was all at the after party. But I had people coming to me and saying, this is not just a black, white, Latino. It's an American thing. All nationality. Where you have a Celie, a Sophia, a Avery, a Mr. My father was at the premiere. I haven't spoken to my father in years. It's another story. But he was there. And I received a message that I don't have to share with y'all. But it hit home. So I just want to say, yeah, it's all black greatness in this movie. But it ain't just a black thing. And Taraji, don't try to do my voice tomorrow.
Danielle.
Love it because I know she's reserving. That's her voice.
Yeah.
She-
Yeah.
It's that powerhouse voice. She said she had to reserve all of that.
Beautiful. It is a powerhouse voice. As is yours. All three of it. Yeah. Right? Danielle, so you're stepping into this again, right? After being nominated for a Tony for this. What was new for you this time around? What did you discover stepping into her at this moment?
Thank you, Kerry. Sophia has been such a great gift for me in my career. I got the opportunity to play Sophia for a year of my life on Broadway, like you mentioned. And it was my first Broadway show. But if you don't know this, it was the first Broadway show that I ever saw at 15. And so watching that show, it opened the door for possibility. Angela Bassett talked about yesterday in her Academy speech, she said, beacons of possibility. And that's what those actors were for me, 15, watching them. Like, oh my God, that could be me. I'm from South Carolina, a small town. That could be me. And 10 years later, after so many no's, after auditioning for Broadway and off Broadway and not understanding why, I finally understood that we have plans, but God has a strategy for us. And He was orchestrating this whole thing for me. So to spend so much time with her, learning her, how she walks with her fists, how she speaks. She's like a horn, you hear her coming. All my life, you know what I'm saying? But when I tell you, I didn't have that. I felt like Celie a lot of the times. And she taught me how to own my power. So it's been so much fun living in her, because my biggest prayer this whole time is, Lord, prepare me for these moments. But I didn't know he was going to use the character to prepare me for these moments. So this has been incredible, and I just want to go back to the joy, because this truly has been the most joyous moment of my career. Denzel Washington says, you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. You will never see a U-Haul behind a hearse. And I say that because we're lucky and blessed as actors. We make great money. We get to ride private jets. We get nice cars, all of the things, but that don't mean nothing. I'm telling you, it don't mean nothing for me. What means something to me is the artistic fulfillment. To be able to be that example, that beacon of possibility for somebody else that Miss O was for me. And the greatest gift that I have been given is the fact that I have legacy. My daughter can watch me and feel proud. My family, my community that helped me to get to Julliard when we didn't have no money. Legacy, I thank you, Miss O, for passing the baton to me, for letting me share all of what I have inside of me. This character is so big, and I get to show the quiet moments and the big moments and the laughter and the joy and the depths of who we are, you know, all the pain that we have gone through. I get to show all of that, and that is so rare. We all know how rare that is, even in music, and all of it. We know how rare that is as Black women. So I am so grateful to you for this opportunity, for letting people see me. For letting people see me. Thank you.
Fantasia, Taraji talked about this, that the director really wanted to, or maybe it was Ms. O, that the director wanted this film to be an exploration of Celie's imagination. What does that mean to you, to give the character that much vision? You know, we talked a lot about each of you women finding your voice, both as craftspeople in your craft, but also as characters, finding your voice. What does it also mean to find your vision, to go deeper into her vision?
I love the way you put that. I think all of us in this room imagine ourselves in different places when we're in lower places, or what we say bad places. I was talking to my mother this morning. I'm gonna bring up my mother again. She's my best friend. That's my best friend. Thank you, Santi. See, we a family. We take care of each other. We may fight, but you can't fight with her, you can't fight with her, you can't fight with her. We fight, you can't fight with her. I was talking to my mother this morning, Kerry, and she was saying a lot of things to me that brought me to the little girl Fantasia. I got this song in my iTunes that says, I'm learning how to dance in the rain. When we were kids and it would rain, what was the first thing you wanted to do as a kid? Play in it. You wanted to play in the puddle, get your shoes wet, your outfit wet. Your mama kept saying, don't you better not. But it was something about the puddle that made you want it to what? Real talk. Now that we're grown, and the ways of the world, and bills, and children, and making money, and getting out there and doing, you kind of lose yourself on the fact that when you were a kid, you wanted to play in that rain. You get older and you're like, do you have an umbrella? There's something about the rain that makes you feel good as a kid. So when Blitz said, I'm going to give Celie an imagination, I said, I'm in. At first, I'm going to be honest with you. I said, I don't know if I can do it. It wasn't about money. It wasn't about anything other than the fact that, can I step back into this role and surrender myself and dig up some things that I have buried? My life is a lot like Celie's. Some people say, please describe. Watch the movie, you'll see. Pay attention, that's me. And so, Kerry, I wasn't sure if I wanted to step back into that. Because when I played it on Broadway, she didn't have an imagination. So it left everybody to figure out, well, how the heck did she make it through that? So then here comes I'm here, and everybody's just, yes! Because you were ready to see her win, but you did not get to see how she did it. So when he said that, thank you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 claps. Amen. Thank you. For when he said, I'm going to give her an imagination, he said, I'm gonna call you and I'm gonna show you something. We're gonna do it on Zoom. I said, okay. He showed me some things. I said, you know what? I'm in. Because I want every woman, male, black, white, old, young, whatever your nationality, to know that you can write the vision and watch yourself go out of a situation and it will come to pass. I watched Queen O talk a lot. I always watched your interviews on how you can put it in the atmosphere.
Manifest.
Thank you. And so I was like, yo, I might not be where I want to be right now. But I'm gonna see myself there. Like Carla, like Mara, I see myself there. So I was like, if Celie can do it, and this movie is gonna go worldwide, watch all the people who do it the same. So that's why I joined. Sorry.
So powerful. So powerful. Taraji, when you decided to take on the singing and to step into this part of yourself, to return to this part of yourself, what was the biggest challenge for you? And what did you discover returning to this part of your craft?
Just proving to myself that I can do what I put my mind to. You know, that's
Did
hard.
you know you had that voice?
I remember I had that voice.
Okay,
I was in college.
Yeah.
But like I said, I put it down, Kerry. I had become a mother.
Yeah.
And when it was time for me to decide, do I go to New York and pursue music and theater, or do I go to LA? For me as a single mother, I just felt the safest thing for me to do for my son was to come west. Because the music industry was just, it seemed dark to me. There's no union. You know, I need a job, I need insurance, I got to keep
Healthcare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I just couldn't just
That's real. That's
throw
real talk.
caution to the wind and follow my dreams that way. Because I couldn't be a mother on the road touring. I just didn't. I wanted to be at the PTA meetings. I wanted to be as much as there for my kid as I could. And I think you could do both.
Yeah.
You know, but I had to find the best way to do it. So I came west, and I just never thought about singing again. And I got tapped for Suge on Broadway, but I ran. I was like, no. It wasn't that. At that time, I was so far removed from singing that I was like, no, and I don't want to blow my voice out. Like, to sing at that capacity, 8 shows a week, I know what it takes. So I just was like, yeah, I'm not gonna do that to myself. But it came back and see, this is destiny, and this is why I do not compete. I compete. The competition is with myself, and I'm certainly not gonna compete with other Black women. We go through too much, right? So I don't compete, right? So I just
You just show up for what's yours.
that's it. Because let me tell you,
Yeah.
what's yours is yours.
That's right.
Ain't no man take, you can run from it, it's gonna come in. I tried to run from Suge and she came back.
Yes, yes. She chose you.
And when Blitz called, I tried to run again. And he was like, I said, how do you even know I can sing like this? He said, I just know Taraji. So when people have that kind of faith in you, you want to show up, you know? And so for me, I had to gain my confidence again.
Yeah.
And I just had to go back to my college days, and I mean, I remember showing up to this. It was so much fun to me. I had my little backpack and my little bag of snacks. I just felt like I was in school again because, you know, when someone was in wardrobe, someone, you know, Fantasia would be going to voice rehearsals or singing her, you know, working on her song, and then others of us would be in working on the choreography. So I literally felt like I was back in school again. But for me, before I even got to LA, I was like, you got to get over your fears. You have to overcome your fear with this singing. So I started training like months before I even got down to Atlanta for principal photography with Steve Mackey.
Yes, the great
Yeah.
Steve Mackey.
Yeah, so I started working with him, and we worked hard. I shared a video of me rehearsing, and Wale called, he texted me, he was like, that is the most vulnerable thing an artist can do. Show them working on their music. And I was like, I wanted to show people that was really me singing. Like, I worked my butt off. It didn't come easy for me because I had turned my back on it for so long. But once I got back into the groove of things,
Yes.
I was like, there she is.
Yes. And the dancing, can we talk about the choreography?
Can we
Because
talk about it?
Fatima Robinson, the great Fatima, who I worked with on Save the Last Dance. I'm so proud of Fatima and love her so much. The dancing is extraordinary. Were you tap dancing?
Yes, thank you, Lord. Praying for my knees and my ankles and my feet.
Everybody was so good with
Kerry,
their
when
moves.
they came to me and said, you are going to tap dance, I looked at them and said, you are a liar. There's no truth in you. That was hard.
I said, when I looked at it, I said, there's no cuts. It was not like her face, her feet. It was you. There was no cut. I said, that's really her up there tapping those feet.
It was scary. And I thought, I was like, the God is real. But Fatima and her whole entire crew, sis, they were amazing. They were so loving, so kind, patient. Because you know, if you don't get something right the first time, you're like, you're gonna maybe crack jokes or clown me. And she didn't do so. She kept saying, you can do it again. I didn't get it right. She said, do it again. But I realized that it wasn't until I went home and I went into the garage and I started practicing on my own. And I was like, if I'm gonna give Celie my all, I gotta give Celie my body, my feet, my knees, my everything. And I remember when both Taraji and Danielle, there were certain parts where they were having to ice their knees, ice their feet. They bought me a feet machine. I still got it at the house. Yeah, my 2-year-old tries to get into it, but you stick your feet in, you mash the button, and it just gives you everything you need. But I wasn't used to somebody supporting me in that way and saying, I see you giving your all. So Danielle and Corey bought me a machine I could put my feet in. I would watch both of them because I spent time with them on set, where Taraji had to ice her knees, her feet. She had to go into therapy for throwing her back out from doing the part where she's fighting with them. So that was a lot.
Well, we had so much fun.
We did. It was fun.
It was fun, but
But
it
it
was
hurt.
work. Yeah.
Also, I just wouldn't give it back. I mean, I can take a little back injury.
My knees are okay.
It was worth it.
Because it was so worth it.
My knees were, see, I have new knees.
I'm next.
I have new knees. They're fabulous. I must say, I recommend it. Anybody thinking about it, do it.
It used to be you get a car, you get a car. Now it's you get a knee, you get a knee.
Coming to that show.
But I'm telling you, I watched Taraji jump up on that table. When you look at that push the button scene, she comes in. Now that I've got your attention, she hits that, she has to step up on the table.
Yes.
I watched her do it 88 times. My knees started to swell watching her do it 88 times.
In between takes, I was on the bar, and they would have my ice packs ready for me in between takes. People, you just see the finished product. You never really get to see
88 times from every angle, across the room.
With
up
these
above,
bad
up
knees.
frame shot, everything.
Can we talk about some of your other incredible cast members as well? Because we were talking a little bit on the personal side outside before about how important it is to pick a good partner in what we do. But it's so true in the scene work as well, right? Like you had extraordinary partners from Corey to David Allen Greer, Coleman. I mean, these men really created a world for you to help support these performances. Can you talk a little bit about the process of the artist community on set?
It was incredible. We have some incredible men that have taken this ride with us and held our hands and just been big brothers. I have to give so much love to my ace, Corey Hawkins, who plays Harpo. We went to Julliard together. We were in the same class, babies. We really did come out of the trenches together and have really been there, just mentoring each other through Julliard, but also in the business of this. And once we graduated, and Corey was such a huge advocate. He actually was the first one cast in The Color Purple.
Wow.
And he immediately called our producer, Scott Sanders, and was like, you need to hire Danielle Brooks. Yeah, and I wish it was that easy. I still had 6 months of auditioning. But he had my
He
back.
planted the seed.
He planted the seed, and I'm just so grateful for him. And it was just the joy, again, another joy of my career to get to share that with somebody. And also with Coleman too, like I know you probably both speak about him as well, but I just remember he's the type of actor that's like gonna push you into your greatness.
Yeah.
Like you get that ball and he's gonna bounce it back to you and he's gonna always make sure that it stays in the air. And so doing that scene with him in the beginning when Sophia meets Mr. was so much fun. I wish y'all could see the outtakes because we're both those type of actors. Like Corey describes it as like if we had to juggle, we would make it work in the scene, and then you would never think like this was odd because we're both those actors that anything you throw at us, we're there. And so it was so much fun playing with him.
And giving him respect.
Respect.
Do you know I'm now at home saying that to my children? You're gonna give me respect.
Yes.
And they're still
That's
looking
why I came in purple, out of respect.
I will say working with Coleman as well, and everybody on my cast, but Coleman, we spend a lot of time together.
Yeah.
And he's a Sagittarius male. Okay, some Sagittarius in the house. But he's very soft and kind and loving. And so I will never forget, I needed to play my own stunts. So I had just started traumatic therapy. And I stopped and I allowed Celie to be my therapist. And so I was like, I gotta do my stunts. And Coleman was not having it. He was like, nope, no, don't let her do it, she's gonna get hurt, da 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 da. And I was like, Coleman, I got it. And he always would grab me like, come here, Danielle, turn around. No, the other way. He would always look at me and say, why do you want to do this?
That's so Coleman.
It's so Coleman. Look at me eye to eye. And I would humble my eyes and say, Cole, I gotta do it because it's something for me that you don't understand. And there's some things that I have to let go and release. And I won't get hurt. He said, you promise? I said, I promise. So all of the stunts or things that you see me getting hit, me getting slapped, that was me. But he let me do it. Because he wasn't about to let it happen. And I thank God for him because in some of the most tragic or heavy scenes, he was there for me. As soon as it was over, he would come back and say, are you okay? I said, I'm okay. You sure? I said, yes, sir. I love him for that. Because of Coleman, I was also able to tap into, this was my first big movie.
You can't tell. You can't tell.
So when they would yell like action or they would turn the cameras to certain, I was like, what are we doing? But Coleman Domingo, he's a real one.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, that's all I'm gonna say is he says after everything in this one too. After heavy scenes, after my tap scene, I posted it. My feet and knees were hurting, and I was scared. I had to stand up on a big dresser. All of my castmates, everybody would walk up to me because they knew this was the first thing for me. They say, "You good? You good? You good?" Says you good. I'm like, I think I am. Coming to your trailer. You want to play spades? We did play spades. But I'll be honest. There's a family.
Yeah.
We roll for each other.
Yes.
We complained with each other. We rocked with each other. We were in the trenches doing blood work with each other. So I thank Coleman. I thank Taraji, Corey, Danielle, John Batiste, Hallie, Felicia, all of us, because this was not easy, but it was work that had to be done. The easy part ain't because of nobody else other than the fact of what we had to step into. Our ancestors.
Yeah.
That was it.
So I want to be respectful of everybody's time. Can I ask one more question? So Oprah, you produced this on Broadway originally in 2005, and then the revival in 2016. So why was it important to you to bring it back now, this year, at this time?
I thought it was the time, Scott Sanders had been saying for several years that he thought that the Broadway musical should be turned into some kind of film adaptation. And we thought about doing it live on one of those NBC shows at one time, and that didn't work out and didn't actually feel like the right thing for The Color Purple. And around 2018, Scott called and said, I really do think it's time. I think what's happening in the culture with Me Too, I think the empowerment of women, he goes, you should call Steven. So I did, because Steven held the motion picture rights to it, Steven and Warner Brothers.
She means Spielberg. Just in case, some of us when we say Steven.
Okay. Steven Spielberg. These are guild numbers.
Yes. I'm telling you what you know.
Okay. So, and actually, Steven felt that it was time that the Alice Walker story and what is represented with Celie is one of the original Me Too stories.
Yes.
back in 1985 when nobody was talking about abuse and what was going on behind closed doors. It was revolutionary. And the fact that we had reached a point in our culture once again where women's voices needed to be heard in such a way that allowed the fullest expression of themselves, the timing was right. You know, I so am led by, you know, my spiritual, by the inner voice. I'm guided by something bigger than myself. And I think one of the reasons why the manifestation of this particular cast and the church that we have everywhere we go and the unity that we all feel with each other is because the timing was all right. So I feel like it wasn't the appointed time, but it was the anointed time. It was the anointed time for this.
Well, thank you.
Thank
you for being led. Thank you for seeing these women. Thank you for having the vision to continue to tell this story. And thank you all for stepping into your anointing.
Yes.
Thank you, Kerry Washington.
Thank you.
Thank you all for coming out on a Wednesday night and giving us your time and your attention
And your
and
applause.
your blessing for this film. Thank you so much.
And please tell people to still go see the film.
Yeah.
It's still in theaters.
Yes, go see it. See it again. If you've already seen it, see it again.
Thank you, everybody. Thank you.